In the summer of 2009, a group of British teachers travelled to Rwanda, working alongside Rwandan teachers to share, learn and exchange. Handicap International has set up this Inclusion Rwanda project to raise awareness of the inclusion of children and young people with disabilities into mainstream education. Handicap International is the largest international organisation that specialises in disability, and Rwanda is just one of over 60 countries where they work to provide long-term support and emergency relief. The British teachers worked in various schools in the Kigali area, where they were partnered with Rwandan teachers and got to see firsthand the challenges faced in bringing about inclusive teaching and learning.
My teacher's really keen to learn and is really interested in how we teach in England. So I think that partnership's worked really well, and I'm about to teach a lesson, so we'll see how that goes.
By working alongside each other in the classroom, teachers were able to offer each other practical solutions to real situations. The context in which the British and Rwandan teachers work may be very different, but both were able to give fresh insight into one another's situation.
Abana bafite ubumuga, abo bana gerageza kuganira n'abandi bagenzi babo kugira ngo babamenye, babafate kimwe nuko nabo bameze, mbese bumve ko ari abana nk'abandi, ntibazagire wenda amagambo bashobora kuvuga ashobora kubasihutaza, mbese bakumva ko ari bamwe. Ubwo rero ngashaka kugira ngo mbe nabasabanisha, noneho babe baza bakorana n'abandi bumva bari libre, nta kibazo.
Bano bagomba kuza tukiga hamwe twese tukabavugisha kugira ngo batajya kwigunga.
Numva bimeze neza kuko n'abana bamugaye nabo n'abana n'abandi biga neza, harimo n'abatsinda bakaba ba mbere.
Struck me that these children have so very little and yet they seem to enjoy life so much, and that made me think of our children back at home who have everything, who maybe wouldn't take the time to wave and be so friendly, but maybe have their heads stuck in the latest technical device that they had. So I was very impressed and loved to see the happy smiles in these children. It really sort of touched me.
One thing that I will never forget about my trip to Rwanda is the willingness, I think, of everybody involved with education, and especially the inclusion of children with disabilities, and what they've achieved in such a short time.
The British teachers not only visited schools, but also spent time at the Kigali Institute of Education. The institute has been integral in bringing about a more inclusive education system in Rwanda. This was a chance for students and education professionals from both countries to discuss not only the needs of students, but also the needs of teachers.
When you have a disability, you cannot take part in so many activities, and especially if your culture does not accept persons with disabilities. So it was a problem, and it has always been a problem for persons with disabilities to show what they can do, because they are not accepted. And if they are not accepted, then in such families where a person was born, you are considered to be a liability or a bother to the society, because most of the time, economically, you're affecting your family.
We have small class numbers and very high staff numbers.
Our approach to inclusion is to meet the needs of each individual child, and that means that we try to assess each child as to their learning ability and how we might meet that need.
Sometimes giving birth to a child with impairment was seen as a punishment from God or the ancestors for past sins. Even today, some parents hide their children with disabilities from public view.
We also then help to integrate them into an ordinary classroom slowly, bit at a time, to help build them up gradually so they can then be in full-time in a mainstream classroom.
Special needs education is slowly but surely being recognized as an integral part of any educational planning.
I think one of the best things to come out of this experience for me so far is the opportunity to meet so many inspiring people who are totally dedicated to inclusion in Rwanda. The other thing that has surprised me is what we can take back home. I wasn't really expecting to have lots of ideas or things to take back to the UK. It allows us to stand back from education in the UK and see a completely different system. For example, special education in Rwanda is very much focused on vocational training. It's real life situations. They are aiming to get disabled children into the workplace and a member of a community. In the UK we sort of miss that part of the education, so I've been particularly impressed about that.
As well as visiting schools and educational centres, they also spent time with some students at their homes. Joe Galloway and Sheila Hayes visited Felix, a boy with learning difficulties.
We found out quite a lot about the family's history and about how Felix ended up coming to the school, because originally he had been spending a lot of time at home and he hadn't been engaging with anybody else. And his parents had locked him into a room because he wasn't able to speak, and he spent all of this time there every single day. Until Handicap International got involved.
We asked him what his hopes were for Felix, and he said that he wanted him to learn more things and be able to be independent, and he said that he would also say to other parents that they should, if they had a child with a disability, that they should allow their child to attend school. We were just really impressed with that lovely example of how raising awareness had changed somebody's life.
ndebye abana baho ukuntu bameze nta wenda ari nk'umwarimu wanjye nizeye uhari nicyo numvaga nishimiye ariko noneho ntawe nabonaga ko umwana wanjye azafatwa nabi kandi arakana kabucura ndabyanga ariko uriya mubyeyi Benedetta bimubwiriye n'umubyeyi muri batisima ko azajya agenda mushiki we akamujyana akamugarura numva mbyishimiye ariko mwese ukuntu mumufuje mu cyongereza akabasubiza akabara akageza ku 10 nje ntanabizi nje numvize binshimishije cyane kandi bikaba binshimishije abo nifuza ko byagira mu ntera.
Ino projet yarafashe cyane uhereye mu buryo bw'amanama iwe yagiye yangira byaramfashije kumenya cyane kuko baba bafitemo ubumenyi buhagije comment encadrer ces enfants mbese abo bantu bafite ibibazo byihariye. Inama yagiye yangira byaramfashe mu buryo zakomeza mbikoresha. Nanone no muri uru rurimi nyine turimo twigamo kuko ni ururimi tutari dusanzwe tumenyereye, nabyo byaramfashe cyane kuko hari amagambo tuba tuvuga mu buryo butari correct, ariko rero kubera yuko numva ayambwiye ati iri barivuga gutya ibi babigenza gutya, icyo gihe rero nkabasha kwiyadapta, ahubwo ndabona byari kuba byiza wenda tugiranye igihe kirekire byamfashe.
What are some of the best things about teaching in Rwanda for you?
I'm enjoying to teach here in Rwanda because first of all, Rwanda is my country.
Okay.
Another thing I enjoy to develop my country.
It's been really good to work with the teachers this morning. We've worked with them for 4 days now, and it's the final session where we're coming together to reflect and actually look at what we have actually learned out of the experience.
Twunguranye ibitekerezo, twunguranye inama ku buryo bwo gufasha buri mwana dukurikije ikibazo agiye agira.
Another point for learning is making the teaching of English to children who don't speak English in England a lot clearer and speaking a lot more slowly for them.
Mbese aravuga uburyo ushobora kwigisha ukoresheje wanditse bike ukandika bike cyane ariko abana bakumva utiriwe wandika tableau ibintu byinshi cyane.
One of the things that
we found our exchange was the different teaching strategies. For example, the Rwandan teachers' use of singing and our use of singing, and we found that we could use this as a teaching strategy and something we could take back home with us to the UK.
Whilst both countries have a long way to go in achieving inclusion, projects such as this can only help in working towards that point. Whether Rwandan or British, all the teachers involved learnt, shared and exchanged skills, techniques and ideas to create a more inclusive education system and a more just society.